Well, good day, folks. Mark here from M1 Racing. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Season 3 of the G-Force Racing Elite League. It's going to be our last season on the F1 23 game, but Season 3 is going to take us all the way up to the release of F1 24 at the end of May. We'll just have a 1 week crossover in order for the drivers to get ready with the new game, and we'll start Season 4. But let's not get ahead of ourselves because we have a fantastic season lined up for us. Slightly new format to the start of the stream each week. We'll do a little bit of a recap on what's gone on before, bring you up to speed on that, have a chat with Rio and Toby when they can be with us, and we'll keep you informed throughout Season 3, as this is lots being set up for quite a battle across the entire field. Up in the top right corner, though, you'll see a replay from Abu Dhabi, the end of Season 2, and what a fantastic finish we got to Season 2. And let me bring up the final driver standings. It was M1 Righty for Alpine that was our champion from Season 2 after a pretty epic battle all season, with SHS Predestinato just coming through to close down a 5-point gap they had coming into this race, and finishing ahead of SHS Predestinato. Just 3 points between the two Alpine drivers at the end of Abu Dhabi. But that meant we had a new champion for G-Force Racing Elite League. SS7 also had a very close battle for third, with Emeleki just squeaking through to finish third in the Drivers' Championship and picking up that third spot. Emeleki ever so close for Aston Martin after such a strong showing towards the second half of the season. And I've got Toby with me this week. I'm not sure if Rio's going to join us or not, but I am delighted that we've got Toby with us this week. And your thoughts, Toby, on the end of Season 2 and that final race? M1 Righty, a deserved winner of the championship for you last season?
Definitely missing two races and then being able to beat SHS, who was the reigning champion at that point, is a massive feat, as well as that last race was just a great ender for it. A shame it wasn't wet, because that is just how every race in the G-Force Racing League seems to go.
You're absolutely right, Toby. And we've got David T in the Twitch chat with us. Hey, David. And I know you'll be watching along with interest as we get underway with Season 3, and be supplying us with various different wonderful stats along the way. David's going to enjoy this race, and I am too. I think we all are. I don't know if a man my age should be as excited as I am, but I definitely am for the start of Season 3. So that was our Drivers' Championship sorted in Abu Dhabi. And you see on the screen here, there was close battles throughout the race. M1 having to make their way up from about 5th on the grid to begin with, eventually coming through to beat one of our rising stars of G-Force Racing, Charlie Ark, who arrived just a race or two earlier to Abu Dhabi, and really mixed things up with the two Alpines at the front. And we'll talk a bit more about Charlie in a few more moments' time. You'll see in the bottom right corner of your screen, folks, that is our live feed from the lobby. So it allows us to keep an eye on our drivers coming in to get ready for the race. I better remind Pete to go into spectate mode, and also for Toby to get in there before we start the race as well.
Well, don't worry.
Good man, thank you very much. So that was the end in terms of the driver standings. What it meant for the constructor standings for Season 2, well, it was pretty plain sailing for Alpine. 10 wins in total across the season. Pretty impressive, but also Mercedes and Aston Martin picking up a victory. One for Joe Bean for Mercedes in Austria, and then that incredible drive in Zandvoort by Emeleki to pick up the victory there. That meant that Mercedes picked up second spot in the Constructors' Championship for last season, and then Aston Martin picked up third, but a very close challenge from the Alfa Romeo team of M. Dorling and Obo, taking fourth spot and really keeping the Aston Martin drivers honest. And I suppose, so we've got to give Emeleki some credit. They were without a teammate for the large body of last season, but to get Aston Martin into third is quite some achievement.
Yeah, definitely. Especially as you said, he didn't have a second driver, and being consistent at finishing up in the points, in the higher end of the points, like P5 and above. Very good, very impressive.
So that's season 2, and what a great season it was. The replay, as you see on your screen from Abu Dhabi, is well worth a watch, and it really brought home how good a league SS7 has now created here, with just some very great driving, very few major incidents for us to talk about, but plenty of action. And that really was the theme throughout season 2. Every single race had some significant talking points, all to do with great racing. We're hoping for much of the same in season 3. If you'd like to look back at season 2, they're all available on our YouTube channel. The last 6 races or so get retained on Twitch before they get removed automatically by the Twitch gods. But we do put everything on YouTube, so it's all there, including all of season 1, and of course our Ironman races, which take place every other Sunday. We've got the next Ironman coming up this week after some crossplay issues from last Sunday, but that's going to be coming up this Sunday, and you can perhaps ride on board with me as we try and survive wherever we're going to be in the Ironman this coming Sunday. But we are focused here today on the start of season 3, and let's take a look at the driver lineup. And this is absolutely cracking, Toby. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at this yourself. I was talking with David T through in Discord yesterday about this lineup, and I just think it's the most balanced lineup we've had so far. And let's just talk through some of the teams very briefly. I've got an eye on the feed from the drivers to make sure we don't miss when they go ready up. We've got Charlie Ark and Mr. Hannes for Red Bull. Charlie's just been a great addition for the first couple of races, and Mr. Hannes knows how to race and score points. So Red Bull are going to stand a chance. M. Dorling and Obo have moved from Alfa Romeo to Ferrari, so they are going to be super rapid. M. Dorling, our most improved driver of season 2, is up there. Is going to be up there week on week, and Obo has been improving also. So let's not count the Ferraris out. Maxi and SS7, what a lineup that is for Mercedes. SS7 has really bagged themselves a very good teammate in the Mercedes camp. Maxi is always consistent and up there in the points every week when they're with us. M1 Righty is with us again. Ghosty, or Scorpion Beta, as we'll probably see in the live feed for Alpine. So M1 will be looking to retain their championship from season 2. We'll see if they can do that. We don't know much about Ghosty, so we'll look forward to if they're out today with us. We will see how well they go. Yeah, I actually see them in the lobby. So Ghosty is going to be out there. We'll get a first sight of them. Spicy and Lost, the amazing couple of McLaren, are still together. I don't know how, but they are still together. Very strong friends. They're continuing their stint with McLaren. There is a change at Alfa Romeo. F1 Jerry isn't racing with us, but Timmy 2009 definitely is. And then we've got 2 new drivers for Aston Martin, DS79 and F1 Lewis driving for Aston Martin. Blip and Nico Hulkenberg. I wish it was the real Nico Hulkenberg, but maybe it isn't. Driving for Haas, taking the seats that David T and Mr. Hannes have vacated. NRG Panzerotto is back with us, and their incredible drive in Qatar. And Danny, we welcome Danny back after a long absence from G-Force Racing. They are back, and they're driving alongside NRG Panzerotto for the AlphaTauri team. And Desaves and Emeliki for Williams. New team for Emeliki, new team for Desaves. We've only got a couple of moments here, Toby, but who are you going to pick out of these teams and these drivers to win the championship?
Oh, unfortunately, it's going to be a very simple one. It will either be M1 because he has proven himself that he can win, or maybe Charlie because we haven't seen his full potential yet.
And if you had to pick I'm asking you this question, Toby, because I can't answer it. Okay, which team here is likely to win? Because they just seem so balanced. I can see every team here pretty much in with a shout of winning the constructors in season 3.
Now, I may be slightly biased, but with Emilike's performance by Emeleki, but Emeleki's performance by himself and Aston Martin getting to about P3, and then Desavex consistently getting in the points. Williams could have a chance being as they're so consistent.
Well, Emeleki is quick, and as David T is saying in the chat here, they went 6 races last season without a teammate and still got Aston Martin into 3rd spot in the Constructors' Championship. Really consistent performer, and when they get it together, there's some certain tracks that don't suit them, but when they get it together, they will be challenging at the front. I see Charlie Ark and M1 Righty pretty much on a par. We don't know much about Diaz, but I do know F1 Lewis from a F1 from a 5-lap championship we had a couple of weeks ago was pretty rapid too. We've seen NRG Panzerotto with pace in places also, and that duo of MAC-T and SS7 for Mercedes is going to be one to watch out for. And of course there's M. Dorling, who has been had a pole position I think in Monza, as well as a couple of podiums, at least 2 podiums I think last season as well. Folks, stick with us through the next 10 weeks as we enjoy what is going to be a pretty cracking season 3. I know I've said it a number of times, but you can tell I really am genuinely excited about what's to come. This is where we're going to be. First race is just about to come up for us in a moment, and they are all readying up, is in Barcelona. We'll revisit this calendar as we get underway with racing. Looks like everyone is readying up. So we're going to run our intro, and we will see you on the other side. Enjoy Barcelona with us with season 3 of G-Force Racing. Speak to you in just a moment. Now we've got 3 cars wide. MAC-T's trying to get down the inside of M. Dorling. They're going to do it. Great switch back from M1 there. All right, folks, let's go racing. And we're going to say a big thank you to Rio for his help with the new intro for Season 3. He came up with some great ideas how we could improve that. It's probably the last time you'll see that intro well, it won't be for Season 3, but when we get into Season 4, we're hopefully going to have some new graphics for you to feast your eyes on. But my thanks to Rio for freshening that up a little bit for us and giving us the excitement that we will need here for Season 3 as we look forward to our first round. Round 1 of Season 3 here in Spain. And Spain, Toby, I don't know if you recall this, was both the pre-season track from before Season 1 for G-Force Racing, or G-Force Racing League as it was known back then, and then was round 9. And I think you drove in both of those, didn't you?
Yeah, not great memories.
Well, you did. Do you know what? I dug it out. I've got it here. I think in the pre-season you did finish, didn't you? Or was I dreaming that in the pre-season race? I know you didn't in the in round 9, but I think in the first one you did finish, didn't you?
I wish I did.
So he's just distracted by the Twitch chat.
I haven't.
Where Mr. Hannes is apparently being. Their sheep is giving birth, and that's quite amazing. I was not expecting to see that comment in the Twitch chat, but I think that's a good reason not to be racing. David T has responded very, very well there. So yeah, we're in Spain. What was the scene of the first ever race of G-Force Racing? It was the pre-season and then round 9. And if we cast our minds back, it was MVRJ Repo who won for Ferrari that day. It really kept the championship alive for the season 1 and pushed SHS Predestinato all the way to the end, and again it was all down to the last race in Abu Dhabi, largely helped by MVR picking up the victory here back in round 9 of season 1. SHS actually finished in 3rd, and I should say the big news, of course, if you didn't pick it up from the drivers lineup a few moments ago, SHS Predestinato is not driving this season. They are still with the league. They're actually moved across to the FAA crew and to the administration of the league. So we're absolutely delighted that they're still with us. But we are going to miss them from out here on the track. But it does open up the field for a few others to get involved. And we should get out there on track. We just have our single qualifying session. We're with Jay, otherwise known as Lost, if you've been with us before. Again, driving for McLaren. They're on their first hot lap here of the new season. And Spain is just a brilliant track for our drivers. They will know this like the back of their hand, having been here so many times before, be that in ranked races, open lobbies, or at least twice with G-Force Racing. So these drivers will know it very well. El Alex setting the early time, 1:12.212. And this will be Lost trying to improve on that. Indeed they do. Jay, 1:11.747, a good half a second faster than El Alex 1. Let's bring up our map and everything else for us to feast our eyes on. I may well bring up tyres as well to see. So El Alex set that time on a set of medium tyres, and Charlie Ark is out on a set of mediums. They set a 1:14.328, just getting a bit of a sighter there. Sam Ross is standing in for Haas today, and then we've got Blip back. So Blip was with us a long while ago, and actually was in the league I raced in best part of a year ago now, nearly, and so we're absolutely delighted to have Blip back with us, driving for Haas. So they've set an early time, a very slow time, and I think they're just settling in there. We are with Obo. Toby, it's going to be fantastic to see Obo and M. Dorling in some Ferraris this year, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I believe I raced with you in that same league that you were talking about with Blip.
And I remember them being an all right driver as well. So, and they'd have plenty of time to practice since we last saw them. So we'll see what Blip can do with their newfound practice and in the G-Force Racing League. We've got Decibes out on just finishing hot lap. They're coming over to set of time 1:11.676. So Decibes takes provisional pole position. Early days yet. We've got 12 minutes of qualifying left to go. We only get the one qualifying session here, folks. If you're joining G-Force Racing and M1 Racing for the very first time, you're ever so welcome. But we don't have full qualifying here, so we just have the one qualifying session and then get straight into the racing action. M. Dorling setting a time of 1:11.369, taking that provisional pole position, and also Spicy Nuts with a 1:11.461 has provisional second. Obo is on a hot lap right now. They're just coming around into turn 4 here, and we're coming up to turn 5, the infamous turn 5, which set up a sequence of events for season 2 which will forever live long in the memory. Turn 5 there was the first noted reset to track by Mr. Hannes. It wasn't spotted on the stream, but it was reported, and that set us up for Australia a week or two later. So we will forever remember round 9 for that infamous event with Mr. Hannes. But we're now with Obo trying to get some grip in this Ferrari as Mac T sets fastest lap, 1:11.273. Coming around the final corner here, looking to get close to their teammate of the 1:11.369. So no, they've got a 1:11.881, so half a second off their teammate of M. Dorling. But plenty of time left for Obo to improve. Sadly, it looks as though we've lost Blip early on. I think they've accidentally left the lobby, so hopefully they will get back in very, very shortly. Let us get down to Emeleki, who is out, I think, on a hot lap here. No, it's just going slowly in the Williams, so they're avoiding the traffic, and it will get busy with 14 drivers out. The two Alpine drivers are now out. Let's get down to M1 Righty, who has just started their hot lap. We're ploughing down here, down the main straight, into turn 1. Our championship winner from season 2, M1 Righty, will have their work cut out in season 3 here. We'll see how well they go around Spain. I don't think we've ever seen M1 round this particular track, so we don't know how well they are going to go. But if the season 2 performances are anything to go by, they are going to be the one to beat. So fastest time so far, 1:11.273 for Mac T. Maxi was very quick around their fast lap. We'll see if M1 is going to beat them. Looks as though they are not up on Mac T at this point. We're coming around the final corners here. Turns 13 and now 14. Back on the power. DRS wide open. We crossed the line. 1:11.251. Wow, that was close, Toby. Just 0.02 of a second off of the time of Mac T, but a good qualifying from M1 so far.
Yeah, and hopefully this is what the race pace will be looking like. Everyone bar Blip and below are all in the 1:11s and very close apart. There's less than there's about just over half a second separating the top 9.
And the Alpine,
so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, and the Alpine, so M1's new teammate, Ghosty, sets the time of 1:11.551 and is less than half a second separating the looks like top 10 drivers. So this does bode well for the race itself, with a lot of very, very close qualifying times. And well done to Ghosty, getting well out of the way of everyone else. That clearly shows us that Ghosty knows what they're doing. This is Charlie Ark coming into the pits. So they've got a 1:11.372. M. Dorling is just about to come back out, I think. So this is Emelecki on their way back in also. Spicy Nuts, great to have Spicy back with us for season 3. Just about to start their hot lap here. And we'll see how well Spicy can do in their McLaren, which they'll know ever so well, having been in it for a couple of seasons now. Through turns 1, then turn 2. Back on the power around this sweeping turn 3. Spicy staying very close to the inside of the track here on the inside, shortening that track distance. Braking, lifting off the power here, letting the hill slow us down as we go up turn 4, down into turn 5. Exit from here, ever so crucial, but you see the back end of Spicy's McLaren step out. Through 6 now, through 7 and 8, trying to keep the power as we go up the hill here. Round turn 9, then we get our first DRS zone on the back straight. A lot of overtaking into turn 10 here. That Ferrari doing their best to get out of Spicy's way. Back on the power. Got to guide the throttle in the car around the inside here. The back end will want to step out on us pretty quickly, taking a lot of curve on the exit so we can get on the power nice and early through turn 13 and flat through 14. DRS comes open. Spicy gets a 1:11.816, doesn't improve on their previous time. So Spicy currently in provisional 7th. SS7 is on an outlet for just going slowly at the moment. So conserving their batteries and their tyres for, unless they're going out on another on a lap on some used tyres. Toby, do you think that's what SS7 might be doing here? Is that a used set of tyres that they're going to do this lap?
Coming out of the final corner, they went over track limits.
So they've misjudged that one. They were obviously pushing hard and just overdid it. So SS7 will be going around one more time. We've got 6 minutes left to go of qualifying here. So enough time for drivers to get at least one more lap in. M1 Righty leads the way. Provisional pole 1:11.251. Mac T very close behind them. Has not improved on that time, having just been out for a new lap. M. Dorling is just about to start a new lap and has a tow from their teammate Ovo in front of them down the main straight. So our Ferrari drivers working as a team here. Ovo dips out the way for us as we go through turn 1 and then turn 2. Let's see the line that M. Dorling takes through turn 3. They again stay very close, shortening that track distance while we've got these new grippy soft tyres. Up the hill through 4, down into turn 5. Nice and close to the inside, but not getting on those curves on the inside. Back on the power. Now we'll run out over these curves on the right, but not onto those yellow sausage curves, which will really unsettle the car very, very quickly. Back on the power on the back straight. DRS open. And M. Dorling is backed out of that. So that lap was not working out for M. Dorling. No drivers really improving at the moment. We were with Ghosty a few moments ago. Obo has done their lap at this point. Let's get down to Sam Ross. So Sam Ross 10 with us again, back from season 2, and they were gradually improving through last season. Looking to improve on their time before. This is an outlap for Sam Ross 10 at the moment, so they'll be looking to start their final flying lap. I think there will be a last opportunity for those who are not in the pits to actually get a time in. El Alex 1 is on a hot lap here. El Alex often drives for Williams, but is in an Alfa Romeo today. Is the team principal for Williams, but is taking one of the spare seats available today to get out on track. So good to see El Alex out there for Alfa Romeo. Pete's telling me Ghosty is purple in sector 1, so they are going well. All of our drivers will be out very, very shortly for the last moments of qualifying here. Round the last corner for El Alex 1 and sets a time of 1:11.619. And Toby, you are absolutely right. It's ever so close between our drivers here, all of them within pretty much half a second. As El Alex takes the shortcut through turn 1 and 2 there. Who's gonna come out of victor here?
Your guess is as good as mine. Anyone in the top 11 could take it. Or the top 12, sorry, could take it.
I feel as though this is going to be a theme for season 3. Predictions are going to be next to impossible, I think, for many of us.
Yeah.
So
well, if I have a race you can predict, I'm not in the points.
So Ghosty didn't actually improve overall on their time. They were purple in sector 1, but they gave up. So they've retained their current qualifying of position 8. Spicy Nuts is on an outlap. Obo is also on an outlap. Alex is on their way back in. And Sam Ross did improve, 1:11.998. They are provisional 13th, will be alongside their Haas teammate of Blip. So all our drivers in the pits waiting and leaving it to the last minute. Toby, this is a bit of a risk, isn't it? Leaving it to the very end of qualifying. This track's going to be really busy.
Yeah, but then leaving it will allow the track evolution to be at highest, but then also you don't want to be at the front, you don't want to be in the middle of the pack. Or you would want to be at the front, but you don't want to be in the middle of the pack.
And you only need somebody to get in your way or spin out in front of you, and that could be the end of improving on your qualifying time. We do see drivers out now, so Spicy is looking to improve, but no, I think they're going slowly, so they are just waiting. Maybe they invalidated early on. They will have time to get round and restart their qualifying lap. Obo is on a fast lap and looked to be a big chunk up actually on the screen there, but I don't know how true that was. The screen was telling us no, so through sector 1 they're just pretty much level with their previous time. So Obo trying to claw back a bit of time here. They don't need to claw much back, and they will be flying up the starting order here. Currently in 9th with a 1:11.585. SS7 also just starting a new flying lap, as is Spicy just on. They will be just about to restart there, as we saw that. And Obo has pulled it out of that one, so that will probably be the end of Obo's qualifying, unless they try to go one more time. So I think they're going to tow their teammate of M. Dorling down the start-finish straight, with M. Dorling going to have one more go. That's a very sideways. Spicy Nuts going through turn 3 there. Here comes SS7. Try and improve on their 111.439. Just coming through to the end of Sector 2. The other Mercedes of Maxi out of the way. SS7 not improving. It's very, very close. As we come around turn 13, don't want much curb on the inside there. And SS7 lifts quite heavily there, so SS7 not happy, I think, that they were going to improve. So that's the end of SS7's qualifying times. Emma Leckie is currently provisional 5th. We haven't spent any time with Emma Leckie in qualify. Pete Semi Ghosty is purple again in Sector 1. So Ghosty's certainly got Sector 1, and Emma Leckie is retired from that session also, so not improving for Emma Leckie. The only one's really likely to challenge M1 Righty at this point is going to be M. Dorling. And M1 Righty holding on to provisional first at the moment, MacT, and M. Dorling is in also, so it's down to Charlie Ark. I think it's just got too busy for a number of our drivers here. They cannot get enough space to get the lap in. Charlie was briefly up, I think, through Sector 2. Just the smallest of margins for the Red Bull driver here. Coming through turn 14 now, no lift at all from Charlie. Over the start-finish line for a 1:11.209, takes pole position for Red Bull. What a great qualifying lap there, Toby, from Charlie Ark.
Yeah, definitely. And we've now just seen what he can do compared to the reigning champion. And we've only seen him for a couple of races, so I think Charlie Ark or M1 are definitely in a chance of winning this.
What a fantastic lap from Charlie, and we saw that in Abu Dhabi. They had some real pace there, and they have lit up that Red Bull for season 3, round 1 here in Spain. Looking back in the Twitch chat, David's predictions for podium here, M1, Charlie, and Emma Leckie. Toby, do you agree with David's prediction? I don't know if he meant for the season as a whole or Spain, but it wouldn't be a bad prediction for today. Do you think that's the way it's going to finish here? M1, Charlie, and Emma Leckie?
Possibly. It's going to be near impossible to confidently predict who's going to be up there.
Well, Charlie Ark is on pole alongside our championship winner from season 2, M1 Righty. MacT is alongside the new Alpine driver of Goat Ghosty. Congratulations to Goat Ghosty and welcome to the league. Great time from them, but also a very good one for MacT. Jay is alongside M. Dorling. Both drivers almost inseparable in their qualifying times there. Emma Leckie is alongside SS7, both in the 111.4s. Then comes Spicy for McLaren and Obo for Ferrari, followed by L Alex 1 and Desaves. Then the two Hasses of Sam Ross and Blip. So this is going to be incredibly tight. And David said in the Twitch chat, new pole sitter in G-Force Racing Elite League. Charlie Ark has that accolade, another one to make it to the top step of, not to the top step of the podium, I should say, but certainly onto pole position here. So, Toby, I'm going to ask you to know your colours to the mast. Who's going to win this one?
I'm not even going to answer it because I can't, and you're probably asking me because you can't.
I am going to say I think Charlie's going to win this one. That's very strong qualifying time. They were very good in Abu Dhabi. Let's see if they can come through and actually potentially give us, I believe it would be our first ever Red Bull winner in G-Force Racing also. So we'll see how Charlie goes here. This is going to be, I think, 33 laps, this track, of 4.6 kilometres long. There's 14 corners and 2 DRS zones, one down this main straight and one down the back straight. All right, folks, 5 lights are on. Let's go racing for season 3 of G-Force Racing Elite League, and Charlie Ark gets an absolute cracker of a start and leads us away. M1 Righty behind them. Then comes MacT in the Mercedes Goat Ghosty, putting them under some pressure as they come out of turn 2. But Charlie Ark is leading us away. There is a battle forming behind them with Maxi defending from a fast charging J. And Pete's told me M. Dorling has dropped right back to 14th, so they probably had a moment or coming together through that tricky turn one, where so many cars go through there ever so quickly. That's quite often that someone could lose out. But that does push M. Dorling right to the back, so they've got some work to do to gain that time back up. Jay has made it up into 4th, but Toby, a very good start from Charlie Ark.
Yeah, definitely. He managed to pull 0.3 seconds on M1, and it looks like he can hold it. But I also want to comment about Blip. He made up 5 positions off that start.
It's a great shout, Toby. Yeah, Blip up to 9th from 14th. Emelecki down there in 10th, so they've really struggled on that start. I reckon there was a coming together. So Charlie Ark setting the early pace, but M1 is right on the back of Charlie as we come down into turn 1. Charlie defending on the inside, and we will look at tyre strategies in a moment, folks, because we can see that Charlie is on the medium tyres in front and M1 righty here on the hards behind, but M1 has switched these on very, very early. Let's bring up those tyres as I mentioned them. And so we've got a real rainbow of selections here. So there's medium hards and soft tyres out there, almost in equal measure. So there's going to be a real mix of strategies at play, and some of our drivers will be hoping for safety cars and others won't. Which kind of strategy do you think is going to pay dividends in the long run?
I personally, hard to soft, because you are going to go extend on quite a long stint on your hards, and then you can then speed up on your softs, when your soft runners are most likely going to be going to hards or going medium soft again. That's going to put pressure on them. And then you've got your mediums, which are most likely going to hards, depending on the tyre deck.
Well, it's good to see Jay doing well here in the early stages. DRS is now enabled, so we will give the drivers more of an opportunity to overtake. It will help M1 stay much closer behind Charlie Ark on those hard tyres. MacT has not been able to make their way past M1 righty on those medium tyres yet. Jay definitely taking advantage of the grippier soft tyres moving up into 4th, but Goat Ghosty is with them. And the Alpine's pretty smart, I think, Toby. No, both drivers are not on the same tyre, so probably won't need to pit at the same time.
Yeah, trying to overcut Charlie, and as well as Goat Ghosty could try and overcut Jay as well.
We see the DRS activated now and down the back of the circuit into turn 10. SS7 is on the rear of Spicy Nuts, trying to find a way past the hard runner of Spicy with SS7 on those mediums here. They will certainly have more grip, but as these hard tyres get further into the race, these hards will come into their own. Safety cars could, of course, create a material difference, as indeed could the weather, but it looks as though we are going to be dry at this point in time, with just a 3% chance of rain here in Spain, so it should stay dry, I would have thought, for the majority of the race. Dropping a bit further down, just behind SS7, we've got Blip having moved up into 8th now, so really going well in these early stages for Blip. Certainly again taking advantage of those soft grippy tyres, and Obo is behind them in the Ferrari with Blip here, and we've got this is boding well already, Toby. We've really got a chain of cars. It hasn't split apart in any material way, and DRS helping these drivers stay very close to each other.
Yeah, definitely. The biggest gap we have is from M. Dorling, which is about 6 seconds, and that's from him being spun out.
Oh, and there is a spinner in the background. That was El Alex is in the wall. A big damage for El Alex. They are still going. Yeah, Alex is still going. M. Dorling just going past them there. So big damage for El Alex. They will have to come into the pits. But that will... but fortunately... no, we do have a yellow flag as El Alex retires. Now, is their car going to pull over? This is going to influence whether or not... No, El Alex is the AI has taken them into the barrier. Toby, looks like a definite safety car with it there, do you think?
Possibly, but M1's just overtaken Charlie Ark. And then the battle for the lead. And McAtee looks like he's going to pounce eventually.
The yellow flag has cleared, and there is a cracking battle at the front now between M1 and Charlie Ark. Thanks for spotting that, Toby. So M1 getting past Charlie Ark on the start of lap 5 here, out of 33. So a long way for us to go. Plenty of racing still to come, and it started incredibly well with this train of cars, pretty much nose to tail all the way down to Emeleki and Desaves before we get a bit of a gap to Sam Ross and then M. Dorling trying to close down, having had a bit of a spin early on in the race, really losing out in the early stages. M1 now trying to pull away from Charlie if they can, but we'll see the benefit of DRS here if we ride on board with Charlie. DRS will come open here as we then go over the start-finish line. Charlie closing down at a rate of knots. Do they take an opportunity to go past? No, they lift, conserve some of their battery, indeed recharge some of their battery, and that's probably quite smart driving, Toby, from Charlie there. To conserve that battery, really don't feel as though they need to take the lead of this race at this point in time.
Yeah, well, they definitely know that M1 will clearly last longer than them on those hards, but also staying in that dirty air of M1 will start to damage his tyres and damage due to understeer or oversteer due to upset air.
I've got my eye a little bit further on down the grid, but usually we're always looking for the close battles, but everywhere there is a close battle. Got the SS7 right now on the back of Spicy Nuts, coming into turn 10, really close on the gearbox and the McLaren in front. We're going to come... Oh, it gets ever so tight between these two. Slight nudge potentially there. SS7 has the inside of Spicy, backs out of that. Very sensible driving by SS7 there. Thinks better of it. It's very tough to get two cars down there. SS7 has used a chunk of battery as they get pretty much close down to less than 10%. Spicy Nuts now getting past their teammate of Jay in front. And SS7 right on the back of Jay here now. These McLarens working together pretty well as a team here, Toby. And SS7 can't find a way past.
Yeah, definitely. Being that they've been in that team since season 1, and they're probably friends outside of the league, they can definitely help each other or hinder, depending on how they feel.
And SS7 is really seeing an opportunity with Lost, or Jay, I've got to call them now, on those soft tyres, which are probably starting to go off a little here on lap 7. So the mediums will be coming into their own here. And indeed, Jay has gone wide. So Jay has dropped back down there into 8th place. Obo now moving up into 7th, but dropping outside the DRS of SS7 in front of them. And this is where the top 6 might now start to pull away. And Pete is telling me that Blip has, wing damage. So that's put Blip right back into 12th. So what do you think Blip will do here, Toby? Onto hards and try and take it to the end, or will they go 2-stop?
I would try hard, because then worst case scenario, if you've got a pair of softs, even if they were used for your quali, you can go back on them and they'll be worth your while. But with how close the grid is, even just one slight move off the line, you're being shuffled down the pack.
They are onto softs, so it's going to be 2 stops for Blip, unless they do very well to get those softs all the way to the end, but I doubt they will. Lost, or Jay, is now under significant pressure from the 2 Williams of Emeleki and Desaves. So Jay really struggling on those soft tyres, and so it looks to us, Toby, I think lap 6 or 7 is about as good as you get out of softs around here. I don't know if I've lost Toby very briefly there. So Emeleki putting the McLaren driver of Jay under all sorts of pressure. Jay trying to hold on to these tyres. We'll see if Jay heads into the pits now. I wonder if they've had enough of those softs. Yeah, indeed they do. So the first scheduled pit stop for our drivers here. So Jay will be switching onto a new set of tyres. We'll stay with them a moment because I'm intrigued to see what tyres they go on to. That promotes Emeleki into 8th, Desaves, their teammate, into 9th for Williams. and medium tyres for Jay. So, Toby, are you back with me now?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. So, Jay's gone on to mediums. Do you think they'll take those to the very end, or can we expect one more pit stop from them?
Yeah, definitely won't be able to take them to the end unless you do some serious, like Checo Perez level tyre saving. It's not possible.
Mr. Hannes, the team team principal for Red Bull and fellow driver in the Red Bull team, is obviously very proud of Charlie Ark right now, and rightly so. Charlie keeping M1 righty very honest, but so is Mac T behind them. They have not got away. Ghosty, a new driver for Alpine, is also at the front here, as Spicy Nuts staying with this crew, and SS7. So good showing from Spicy Nuts so far, Toby, as well.
Yeah, SS7 definitely seems to have some pace and can keep with them in the DRS. And this whole pack forming a DRS train while Charlie and M1 are battling it out.
Charlie is back in the lead, and M1 went very wide there through turn 3. So Mr. Hannes will be even more delighted at this particular point in time. Mac T is sitting there and just biding their time. Oh, let's get in the cockpit of Mac T. Yeah, they've got a lot of battery here, so they are really hanging on to the back of these front two. Blip sets the fastest lap of the race on those brand new soft tyres. So I don't know if you remember Blip's driving from when we were with them a long while back, Toby, but they've got some good pace here.
Yeah, just it's a shame that they've got 13-second gap, but they might be able to try and undercut some of these hard and medium runners, depending on how well they can keep their softs alive. And then they'll try and pit probably for hards or mediums, depending on the lap count.
I've got my eye on where M. Dorling is. They are 9 laps in on those soft tyres. They are probably praying for a safety car, but if we can get M. Dorling back in the mix here, I'm sure they will be playing a role. We're seeing M1 switching positions once more with Charlie Ark. We can see this battle of the front two going on for some time to come yet. If we go into the cockpit of Charlie, as Charlie looks down the inside of 4, but doesn't make a move there. And obviously every time these drivers lift just a little touch earlier, it gives an extra boost of battery charge into the ERS, which they'll be able to deploy at more strategic moments in the race. M1 has an awfully large battery charge at the moment, Toby, and we've seen that from M1 before. They seem to manage their battery ever so well.
Yeah, definitely. The difference between the two of them is about less than 10%. So both of them are managing their tyres, their battery very well.
And Charlie is still staying comfortably with M1 righty, so his medium's hanging on quite well. I think we'll start to see these drop off at some point, and M1 possibly pulling out more of a gap, but it's certainly not disadvantaging the Red Bull as Charlie goes back past M1 righty, back into the lead this race. Mac T had a little look there also. Let's get on board with Ghosty, who is following on behind Mac T. This group of drivers staying very close together. Spicy has just been passed by SS7. So Spicy starting to struggle a little bit, or perhaps just a good run from SS7. SS7 completely out of battery here, trying their best to stay with the front 4, as is Spicy. So that's moved the Mercedes of SS7 up into 5th place, dropped Spicy down to 6th. Then we have a bit of a gap down to Obo. And Obo has now been caught by Desaves and Emeleki. So, Toby, I think we're starting to see the hard runners come into their own.
Yeah, the mediums are starting to go off, and they're still well within their lifespan, but they're starting to come off, whilst the hards are starting to warm up and rubber up a little bit more than the mediums.
And I'm wondering what strategy our soft runners are thinking of now, because I reckon they are thinking of hards to the very end of this race. As we get a little bit of lag on the screen, so apologies for that, folks. But Desaves has got past Emelecki. I think these two drivers swapping places, and Desaves now moving up in 7th place, getting past the Ferrari of Obo. So a good drive so far from Desaves, and now Emelecki is putting Obo under that pressure. We'll see if Emelecki can make their way through. Not going to forget what's going on at the front, folks, but we are pretty much as you were at the beginning of this race. Charlie Ark leading the way from M1 Ricey, the MacT in 3rd, Ghosty in 4th, SS7 in 5th, Spicy Nuts in 6th, and now Desaves moving up into 7th. Obo under all sorts of pressure on these soft tyres. And as Emelecki goes a bit too deep there into turn 6 from 7 there. So Emelecki's got a little bit more work to do. Don't know if they picked up some damage potentially as they went a little bit deep there. No, it looks as though the car is okay. So just misjudged braking from the Williams driver there. And they'll have to do that all again to get on the back of Obo. Desaves starting to pull away from Obo, and we'll be hoping to get outside that range of DRS as the Ferrari of Obo is now in. So M. Dorling will be on a very different strategy at this point, having had to no, they didn't pit. Apologies. I was thinking they'd already been in for some damage, but no. So Obo is the first of the Ferraris to go in, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see M. Dorling come straight in, follow them in. Indeed they do. So the two Ferraris in straight away, and Obo has gone on to those mediums, Toby. So they're going to probably take those to the very end, as is M. Dorling.
Yeah, well, it might put them at a slight disadvantage for those that are on the hards and will pit for soft, but going onto those mediums is definitely viable to go through to the end of the race.
And I've moved back up to SS7 here, who is very closely behind Ghosty now. So they've closed up what was getting close to a second gap. That's down just to 3/10 and getting closer still. So SS7 picking up the pace now. These mediums working quite well for SS7. Let's ride on board with them as we are about to start lap 15, coming up towards the halfway mark here of round 1 of season 3 of GeForce Racing Elite League. DRS open for both drivers as we've got Charlie Ark and M1 Righty switching places once more up the front. And I think, Toby, we're going to see this pretty much to the end of this race, but both these drivers fighting out at the front of the pack. MacT is just waiting there in the wings. What do you think, Toby, it might be worth MacT trying the undercut here and getting in before these two drivers out in front? They are on the mediums, could go onto the hards and perhaps get into the lead of this race.
Yeah, that's definitely possible, but as you've seen here, overtaking is very much an easy feat to do, especially with DRS, and then coming into the fast corners in turn 1 is definitely possible.
In the driver's chat, you won't be able to see this, folks, but there's a wonderful picture of a newborn lamb from Mr. Hannes. So congratulations, Mr. Hannes, on the new arrival. I hope it is fit and well. And we also see an update from El Alex. Unfortunately, it looks as though their Fanatec wheel disconnected at entirely the wrong time, and that's put them in the wall and taken them sadly out of the race. Our only DNF so far today, but we will very much hope that El Alex is back on track with us at some point in the future. MacT is just sitting there and waiting to pounce, I think, and has driven very solidly in 3rd. Behind them is Ghosty, M1's teammate, staying with this crew at the front. Spicy Nuts has now dropped back to under a second. SS7 has pitted onto hard tyres. So Toby, we need to watch SS7 where they shake out in this race. SS7 definitely trying the undercut.
Yeah, well, if you look ahead of them, everyone but Jay have pitted, and Jay's on 7-lap-old tyres, so he might be pitting again at the end of this race.
And we can really see how these lap times have changed with the hards and the mediums starting to go off now. The fastest lap of the race so far is Blip with a 1:14.326. For Charlie Ark, last lap it was a 1:15.626. So 1.5 seconds slower now than the fastest lap as these drivers start to lose a little bit of pace. So Spicy's pretty much in no man's land now, having dropped off the back of this crew. Not helped by SS7 getting into the pits, but they're trying their hardest, 1.5 seconds back, to get back onto the rear end of Mac T. And if they can do that, this is going to give Spicy a decent shout of a podium. Mac T is still with M1 Righty, and M1 Righty is still with Charlie Ark. Desaves is just ahead of Emelecki here, so the Williams teammates pulling each other along, both on going long on their hard tyres here. Jay has back into 7th place, having recovered a little bit from earlier. Remember, they have pitted. Let's bring up the pit stops, folks, so we can see who's done what. So just half the field.
SS7 has just undercutted Ghosty, by the way.
Good shout, a good spot. So SS7 has moved up into 8th. That undercut working well. Ghosty will have some pace for sure, but SS7 now has the benefit of being on the back of Jay, so they will get some DRS, whereas Ghosty will not at this point. So Ghosty needs to get with SS7 as quickly as they can. Jay is trying to defend from SS7, but it looks though SS7 will have the pace on the McLaren. Indeed they do, and we see the Red Bull of Charlie Ark coming out just ahead of Ghosty. That was close, Toby, but Charlie has held on to I think this is kind of the provisional lead of this race, but obviously on track that's M1 Righty at the moment. But having pitted, these two battling it out though is definitely going to help M1, don't you think? It might slow them down and help M1 perhaps steal a bit of a lead. What do you think?
Possibly, but SS7 is in the net lead at the moment, undercutting everyone that's just pitted.
And David T in the chat is got their money on M1 Righty for the victory here, but Pete is saying Charlie Ark. I really couldn't call it from here. My prediction before the race was Charlie Ark. I'm looking pretty good at the moment, as is Mr. Hannes. They'll be delighted with a first victory for the Red Bull team, but a long way for us to go. We're on lap 19 of 33. Desaves is into the pit, so the first of the Williams drivers to pit, SS7, sets the fastest lap of the race now. We're into the 1:13, so 1:13.946 for the Mercedes driver. SS7 going very, very well. Charlie Ark has got past Jay now, so they have moved up into 6th place. Ghosty now needs to get past. Oh, as Jay loses it on the exit of 3. Pushing a bit too hard there, Toby. And was that a reset to track, Jay? We may have just caught you live on the stream. We shall see if that one gets discussed by the FIA a little bit later on. There's something about Spain and resetting to track, perhaps. Okay, we've got a little bit of lag on the stream today, folks, so I hope my internet connection is not going to flake out on me at the last minute. Spain is notorious for giving us lag issues, but I hope those don't materialise into anything significant. Let's get up to the front. Mac T is still with M1 Righty. And Toby, this is a strong drive by Mac T. And they're going to take the lead of the race. Yeah. Mac T comes into the lead.
Mac T's just taken the lead. He's been sitting there patiently whilst M1's been wearing out his tyres and fighting Charlie Ark. So Mac T's just sat there and conserved his tyres in the DRS, not even using his ERS as well.
And David T's rightly said, we've just caught Jay doing a Hannes on the exit of turn 3. That one will go in the scrapbook, the GFR scrapbook for sure. Mac T takes the lead of this race as Charlie Ark sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:13.528. These times are going to start tumbling. Spicy Nuts is still on. They have yet to pit, so Spicy has yet to come in, taking these hard tyres a long way. 3-second time penalty for Spicy. Pete's rightly pointing out, though, Toby, that Charlie is essentially lapping more than 2 seconds a lap faster, or just about 2 seconds a lap faster than Mac T and M1 righty. So Mac T seeing that and getting into the pits very, very quickly. Spicy also coming in. 2 seconds a lap is a huge pace gain around this track, and these front runners need to get in pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. They've taken these tyres as long as they can before these new people, these new tyre runners get quicker. So they're going to try and take these tyres to the end of the race and try and fight for the lead. And it looks to be MacT has lost out. I've got to the same position that they were and lost out to Ghosty by the looks of it.
We've seen Spicy Nuts come out on soft tyres. It's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out. To all my watchers in the chat, we're going to build a very special emote for doing a Hannes and build one for you all. If you're a subscriber to the channel, I'm going to make sure we get you a very special doing a Hannes emote for you guys to use. That's going to be needed, I think, this season. So Spicy out on brand new soft tyres. We'll be looking to take those to the end of the race. Charlie Ark has got onto the back of SS7 into turn 10 here. SS7 completely out of battery for a moment there as we saw the red light flashing on the back of the Mercedes. Charlie looking to charge through, take advantage of their slightly newer, harder tyres, get it back in front of SS7. Emelecki is into the pits. Not quite the last of our hard runners to pit. M1 Righty has yet to do it. David T was right to say that M1 Righty has been pretty good on strategy, but I'm wondering if they've really got it right this time. Charlie Ark, just stepped out beyond track limits there. I think trying their best, obviously, make sure they don't collect SS7 also. So very wise driving if they thought it was going to cause a collision by the Red Bull driver there. SS7 trying to hold on to the gearbox of the Red Bull driver here, but they're now coming under pressure from Ghosty, who want to get past SS7 if they can. Mac T now is in 5th place. That undercut as well.
Spicy's just been spun by Obo.
Oh no, no problem at all. Thank you for keeping us informed. This is a problem. There's so much going on now. So Spicy getting caught by Obo, it would seem, and that drops him behind Obo into 7th place at this point in time. M1 is into the pits, so maybe it's going to be soft tyres for M1. Yeah, David T suggested soft for M1 as well. I think that may well be the strategy here for M1. They're going to be lightning for the final. This mediums. Okay, so I was just about to say, Toby, before we went to Spicy and Obo there, this undercut for SS7 has worked out not too bad for them. It certainly kept them up with these front runners. Is it going to work out for M1? So M1's come back on the track 5 seconds pretty much behind Ghosty. Charlie Ark is now in the lead, but SS7 is second now. So that earlier undercut by these drivers looks as though it's worked out for them so far.
Yeah, definitely, since SS7 is now within DRS range of Charlie Ark and can stay in that and then try and take advantage of Charlie Ark if they make a mistake coming out of a corner.
Well, this is going to be fascinating end to the race. We have got 10 laps left. M1 Righty has got to make up 4.5 seconds on the drivers in front. The last lap from Charlie was a 1:14.946, so just under 1:15 for Charlie. We'll be watching with interest as M1 gets up to speed on those new mediums. They were 0.2 better in sector 2 on their best lap so far, and they were purple in sector 3. So those mediums are going to be warming up very quickly. Spicy Nuts takes the fastest lap of the race so far, 1:13.5 dead. So well done, Spicy, recovering quickly as best they can, and those soft tyres working well for now. These cars will have much lighter fuel loads, of course, as we get into the latter stages of this race. So those soft tyres will not burn out quite as quick as they would do normally. So M1 has got that gap down to 3.5 seconds to Ghosty. We've obviously got a close eye on the front of this race, but SS7 starting to struggle to stay with Charlie, using up a lot of battery, and that's going to give Ghosty an opportunity to get past SS7. We will And Mr. Hannes in the chat, thanks for saying that, Mr. Hannes. You're suffering from lag, we are too. So fancy there's an EA server issue rather than it being at our end. I do hope that the game plays nice with us for the remainder of this race, because there's a lot of action to come. So SS7 is outside the range of DRS, so they will have no defence against Ghosty, who we're on board with, and we fly past with Ghosty into second place in this race. So well judged by Ghosty there, Toby.
Yeah, definitely. They've got younger tyres, or 1 lap older tyres than Charlie, but younger than SS7. So he's clearly got pace to hold up to these top runners.
SS7 doing their best to try and stay with Ghosty now they've got past. M1 Ricey is closing them down very quickly, under 2 seconds now. But crucially, Mac T is going with them. We won't count Mac T out from both a potential podium but also a potential win here. It's a brilliant drive by Mac T so far. Spicy 3.7 seconds back from Mac T. Then comes Obo, 11 lap old medium tyres. Desavec on their mediums. It's starting to spread out towards the second half of the running order here. Jay going very long on their medium tyres. M. Dorling, sadly, Toby, has not had a great day for Ferrari. Probably not the first outing they wanted with the Ferrari team. It just hasn't worked out for them today. I don't know if I've lost Toby again. Oh, Rio, do I see you in the commentary, VC? Are you with us?
Yeah, I am. I think I might have got timing wrong.
No problem at all. We're absolutely delighted you could join us. I can't recap everything that's happened for you, sir, because there's just been so much. But I'll do my best, and it might help the rest of our viewers out. So Charlie Ark is in the lead of the race right now. Ghosty, our new driver for Alpine, is in second. M1, who was leading the race when they pitted, but they were the last to pit on hard tyres, has now come out onto mediums to get to the end of this race. And David T's prediction was M1 was going to take this because they knew how to play strategy on this game. It's looking strong for them at the moment. SS7 here in fourth, having made up a few places from early on, and I'll bring you up the position changes so you can see them all on the screen, folks. Spicy Nuts is up 3 into 6th, Obo up 3 into 7th, Desaves up into 8th, up improving 4 positions. But the real loser today at the moment is M. Dorling. They had a tough start, possible coming together in turn 1. But we've had battles throughout, and as you can see on your screen, it's been nose to tail pretty much throughout the entire field since lap 1. So you're going to have to go back and watch the replay. But I'm glad you could be there. When did you join us?
I joined about 15 minutes ago because there might be that, timing thing now because it's pushed back from when
yes.
I used to wake up.
Yeah, so clock change in the UK over the weekend. Yeah. Sorry you got caught out by that. But I'm absolutely delighted you're here now. What do you make of the current running order as we stand on lap 27? Any surprises for you?
Probably Ghosty. I don't. How many races of a new driver is he in?
This is their very first one with us, so it's the first time we've seen them, and they're right up the sharp end of the field.
Yeah, that's definitely my surprise then, because I've never seen them, and they look to be with some more challenges with Charlie M1 and for the championship.
And we're on board with M1 Righty, who's taken the lead of this race. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. That looks to be like one of the Hasses. Yeah, they have returned. Their blip is back on. They have resumed racing. So M1 back in the lead of this race and have got to get away here. Toby, you still with me? I know you've had a couple of audio issues as well. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Good to hear. So M1 here, Toby, has got to get away from Charlie Ark. They've got to take advantage of those newer medium tyres. It looks like they're outside DRS already. They've got to get on with it now.
Yeah, they could definitely extend on this because they've got both half-life tyres compared to Charlie Ark, as well as being a step softer compound.
And Rio, just to bring you up to speed, Mac Teagues is fast becoming my driver of the day. They have stuck with the front runners pretty well. They took their medium tyres almost as far as the hard runners did. M1 Righty setting the fastest lap, 113.469, taking that accolade away from Spicy Nuts. But Mac T looks as though they're now moving up into second place, Rio. So Mac T's had a really good race here in Spain. And I bet SS7 for Mercedes is going to be delighted.
Yeah, Mac T, I'm watching his little interval timer, and it went from 7/10 to 2 in about 10 seconds. So it's actually going down really quickly. So he's up. So he's gaining on the back of Charlie Ark really quickly, and yeah, it looks like it's going back and forth. I can't really tell.
Yeah, no, it has just switched again. It was commentator's curse. As soon as I was praising Mac T, it went wide. But Ghosty's also lost out. They've dropped back behind SS7. So Ghosty having a bit of a moment there. Also, I don't know whether or not perhaps there was a coming together between a couple of cars, but that shifted SS7 up into fourth. Ghosty down to fifth. Spicy Nuts there in sixth. The Williams of Emeleki and Decevest in seventh and eighth. The Ferrari drivers of Obo and M. Dorling in 9th and 10th. Then Jay, who was going really well, just started incredibly fast, but they've now dropped back down into 11th. And then the two Haas drivers of Blip and Sam Ross in 12th and 13th. El Alex only DNF due to a controller disconnect issue, which is not good if you're driving a car, and it will send you into the wall. So M1 Righty has pulled out 2.5, nearly 3 seconds from Charlie Ark with just over 3 laps of this race to go. M1 Righty looking to start their campaign strongly, but Mac T looking to move up into second place and potentially drag their teammate SS7 with them. SS7 and Goat Ghosty on much older hard tyres at this point, 14 and 13 laps respectively. Spicy Nuts doing their best to hang on to those soft tyres which they put on a little while ago. As we saw from the start of the race, they don't go much longer than 7 or 8 laps, so Spicy will be starting to feel that. Perhaps Emeleki and Decevest we ought to keep an eye on. They've been working well together as a team, Rio, Emeleki and Decevest, moving gradually through the field, and I think we've got to keep an eye out for these Williams drivers this year. That looks like a pretty strong team.
Yeah, and Emeleki and Decevest, I think they've also proven themselves to be quite quick, so that could benefit them more than everything else.
Maxi not looking to make a move on Charlie Ark into turn 1 there, so continuing to follow behind. 3 laps to go of season 3, round 1 from here in Spain, and we have got an incredible season lined up for you as we say goodbye to F1 23 and look forward to F1 24. We're going to go right up to the release date of F1 24 and make the most of what has turned out to be a pretty incredible game for this league to race in. And as you can see here, folks, has given this wheel-to-wheel racing we have had pretty much week on week, and there'll be more of this to come over the next 9 rounds. We'll take a look at the calendar once we've finished the racing here today in Spain, but we are coming to the business end of this particular race. Just 2 more laps to go after this one. M1 Righty well out in front now, 4 seconds clear of Charlie Ark. Charlie Ark trying to defend against the 2 Mercedes drivers of Mac T and SS7. Goat Ghosty trying to hang on to the back of SS7, but these Mercedes drivers working well as a pair. And we were just talking about, and I was talking, Rio, with Toby about this before we started, but this pairing of SS7 and Mac T looks very, very strong.
Yeah, SS7 has always proved to be, quick, and also Mac T as well. He's gotten very, very good over the last couple of races, and we saw that, I think, in Abu Dhabi, I'm pretty sure it was, where he won the final race of season 2. So yeah, it is quite a dangerous duo.
David T is predicting a last lap move from Mac T. into the yellow flags in Sector 3. That's Haas one more time. That will be Blip, who also had really good pace early on, but they are back up and running, but they've been struggling in the latter stages of this race. SS7 needs to stay with their teammate of Mac T. Let's get on board with Mac T as we start the last lap. Charlie Ark is less than 10% battery here. This is going to give the opportunity to Mac T, who comes through. Is SS7 going to take the same opportunity? No, they can't make it. Mac T moves into second place. Charlie is not going to let that go easily. They're going to continue to push behind Mac T, but Mac T, Toby, has possibly judged that to perfection.
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely pulling that away, and he's coming up into Sector 2. He's in Sector 2 now, and being last lap, I don't think Charlie's going to have the pace unless he does a last dive bomb coming into Turn 3. Not Turn 3, Sector 3.
Well, Mr. Hannes also a little bit sad in the chat that their driver has moved back a little bit now into third. They're still on the podium though, Mr. Hannes, and it's not a bad start to the season. Just got to get those points on the board. There's a long way for us to go, and one race is not going to win the championship, but it looks like a strong drive. Let's get up to M1 Righty, who's going to come over the line to win round 1 of season 3 of G-Force Racing for them and Alpine. Congratulations, M1 Righty. Mac T comes over in second place. Charlie Ark takes third. SS7 holds on to fourth. Ghosty takes fifth on their first ever outing with G-Force Racing. Spicy Nuts comes home in oh no, Decifest just pips. Oh no, that will be the penalty. That will be the 3-second penalty for Spicy Nuts, promoting Decifest into 6th place. Good drive from Decifest. Spicy goes into 7th. Obo comes over in 8th. Emma Leckie comes over in 9th after what would have been a strong track for them in previous seasons. Not able to make it work today, but in 9th, and points for Emma Leckie. And 10th for M. Dorling. So M. Dorling does get in the points. So after a pretty awful start for them, they have at least scored. Jay comes home in 11th. Then we've got Blip coming round to finish in 12th. And their teammate, Sam Ross, is going to come home to finish in 13th. Wow, so we've got to go to driver of the day, folks. So, Toby, I'm going to come to you first. Who's your driver of the day?
My driver of the day would probably have to be... might be SS7 with that strategy call, undercutting all of them, but couldn't hold it on for the end.
And so it's SS7 for... was it SS7, sorry, Toby, you said? I think it was. Is that right?
Yes,
yeah,
that or Decifest.
For the strategy, or Decifest. And Pete, who are you going to give driver of the day to? M1 for Pete, but also Ghosty gets a vote also from Pete for good first outing. Any of you watching on board with us here on M1 Racing, feel free to let me know who your driver of the day is in the chat. Rio, I know you only caught probably half of the race, but from what you've seen, who would you have given driver of the day to?
I caught second half of the race, and Mac T probably just stood at the best, so I'm going to have to go to Mac T.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mac T also. I think that was a brilliant drive from Mac T. Got to give it to M1 Righty. Strategy, perfection, as always, gives them maximum points. They get the fastest lap as well, 1:13.469. So this is our final classification. M1 Righty in first on the opening race of the season. Mac T, strong performance from them, and my driver of the day, as well as Rio's there in second. Charlie Ark takes third. Good race and good drive from them. Strategy didn't quite work out from them towards the end and couldn't quite keep up with Mac T. Then SS7 comes home in fourth. Good day for Mercedes. Ghosty in fifth. Decifest in sixth. Spicy Nuts in seventh. Obo in eighth. Emlecki in ninth. And M. Dorling in 10th. So they're our top 10 point paying positions. What a cracking start to the season. So Toby, any particular highlights for you out of those 33 laps of Spain?
I've got to say, probably being Blip managing to jump 5 positions after that was quite impressive.
It really was. From Rio, from what you saw, any standout moments for you?
I'll have to think. Not really, to be honest, because I was mainly watching the front two. But yeah, I don't think there's anything for me.
It was it was some great battles throughout. But I don't know if you caught it, Rio, but we had a Hannes moment live on stream from
Oh yeah, I remember
Jay.
that. Yeah, I caught that. I got that. Yeah. That's definitely my standout moment then.
And we've got Goat Ghosty also raiding here on Twitch. And Goat Ghosty, what a great drive! Congratulations, welcome to the league. Really strong pace out there today. You'll be a fantastic addition to the league, and I'm sure M1 Righty is delighted to have you as a teammate. So congratulations for a great drive today, and welcome to M1 Racing. What I'm going to do is very briefly talk a little bit about the calendar ahead. So you've got up on your screen, folks, the final season for F1 23 for us. We've started here in Barcelona. Well, next week we are heading off to Imola, but then you see the tracks that we've got ahead of us, and there is some intent behind the tracks selected this time around. These are all the tracks from season 1 and season 2 that have given us the best races through the GeForce Racing Elite League. So we're hoping that they deliver as they have delivered in previous seasons. Rio, any particular ones that particularly excite you about the season to come?
I think Silverstone, yes, Marie. I think there might be some eventful race, because there's two of my favorite tracks because they I've ended up crashing in them a lot. So hopefully there will be some carnage out there. I think there will, because the corners are quite tricky sometimes.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Toby, are there any tracks that stand out to you or that you're particularly looking forward to this season?
It will be interesting to see Hungaroring, because it's not a very overtaken. I don't think we've raced it here as a league before, but Spa is always pretty.
Yeah, your audio's cutting out on us, Toby. I think we'll try and fix that for you for next week. But yeah, Hungary, I am looking forward to. I think that will be an interesting one. I'm wondering if David T is going to make a guest appearance in Hungary on the 24th of April. We will see. I know that's a favourite track, but another favourite track. And David T in the chat is hoping to swap Hungary for Abu Dhabi, or just the dates around. Okay, so we'll still be going to Hungary if David T has his way. Maybe just a slightly different order, so he can come and join us. And obviously, we're going to have a slightly different finish. We've always finished in Abu Dhabi, but to switch things up a little bit, at the moment we are going to Qatar. Stay posted to us here on M1 Racing, because some of these may switch around in the coming weeks. But this is our calendar, and definitely next week we are off to Italy, to Imola, which was the scene of one of the most dramatic races from season 1. Where J Repo was leading the race, and then the rain came down. They stayed out on hard tyres to try to get to the end of the race, misjudged it, and that let SS7 through to take victory in Imola and set up a pretty exciting first half of season 1. We'll hope for a similar drama next week in Imola, and then we go to the epic track in Belgium, Spa. Emeleki's home, my favourite track. So we'll be looking forward to that one, which is also a sprint race. In Hungary, then Austin, we travel to the home of David T and Mac T, to Austin in the USA. Then to our home Grand Prix here for M1 Racing, Silverstone on the 8th of May, which is also a sprint. So I'm really delighted there's a sprint race in Silverstone. We'll see how that plays out. Then Abu Dhabi on the 15th of May. Then the Las Vegas, which gave us, or really set up the finale for us, the season 2. Remember that one, Rio, Vegas, from season 2, which really blew the doors off the championship.
Yeah, I remember that one. M1 just managing, having been away for 2 races, managing to get up really well, and I think he ended up winning the championship.
He did indeed. He did indeed. As we recapped at the very start of today's feed, folks. So, M1 started well here. Then another favourite track of mine, Interlagos in Brazil. A number of our drivers like that track, go well on it, and a number of our drivers are not fans of Interlagos. So it's going to be a mixed bag, but it always gives us brilliant racing. And then we end up in Qatar for the season finale of the end of season 3. And will we get a new champion, or will M1 Righty hold on to their current crown? All right, folks, we are going to leave it there for today. My thanks to Rio. Glad you could be here. We'll let you know when the clocks change here in the UK next time, so you don't miss the start. I've got to ask, is the podcast happening, episode 3, anytime soon?
Episode 3, not tonight because my hard drives are basically full. So I'm going to have to get that sorted out. And then probably going to be the next, I don't know, but I'll definitely let you guys know.
Well, folks, if you haven't yet listened to the GFR podcast, which Rio hosts, it's available on on YouTube. There's a link to it on our Twitch channel and on my YouTube channel also. Go and check it out. Great chat last time out between David T and SS7, just about how the league had been created, some of the key moments from the season that had just ended. So really good conversation between Rio and our drivers and the representative of the FIA, indeed, in David T and our stats guru. So that's well worth a listen to. So a link on our Twitch channel and on our YouTube channel also. So Rio, great to have you here as always. Toby, thanks for being here. Not a bad start to season 3.
Yeah, no problem for being here. Definitely was tight and interesting.
We hope for more next week. My thanks to Pete also for being in my ear as always. To all our drivers for giving us another brilliant round of racing here on GeForce Racing Elite League. And most importantly, to all of you in the chat, loads of chatters today. Thank you ever so much for playing a part. David T got his predictions pretty much spot on, as he often does. So if we start opening up at the bookies, I think we'll get David T to run that as well. So my thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks for spending your time with us on a Wednesday. Come and join us again, 8 p.m. UK time next week, next Wednesday. Before I go, I must remind you, of course, of the Ironman this coming Sunday. That should also be 8 p.m. UK time on Sunday. I'll ask Rio and Toby, are you going to be racing on Rio? Are you going to be racing on Sunday?
I won't, unfortunately.
I'm missing my teammate.
Maybe.
It's all right. Maybe from Toby. Okay. So I'm going to be missing my teammate. No idea where we're going to be. We find out an hour before the race. So we'll see what that turns out to be. Otherwise, if you can't be with us for that, come and join us next Wednesday, 8 p.m. UK time. And we'll see you in Italy at Imola for round 2 of season 3 of GeForce Racing Elite League. Until then, stay safe and we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye for now. Now we've got 3 cars wide. And Mac T's trying to get down the inside of him, Dorling. They're going to do it. Great switch back from him, one there. All right, folks, let's go racing.